Hey everybody, here I am at the beach. Hope you missed me. Lesson this week for our small groups is about, last week was about needing God, to overcome our issues or our struggles. This week is about needing others. And I want you to hit Joshua, I believe it's chapter 5, verse 4. It's talking about basically he had to take all the men and circumcise them after Egypt. But that's obviously not the point. The point is this, that those grown men, those men that had moved out of Egypt, they were grown. And they had to expose their most vulnerable parts to someone else. That means they had to trust someone else with a knife, trust someone else with something that could hurt them. And a lot of the times we use the excuse of being hurt, or we use the excuse of being betrayed to not share or to not be vulnerable. But that's really not an excuse. Everybody's been hurt. Everybody's been betrayed. Everybody's been lied about. Everybody's been lied to. And we have to understand that we're no longer the same person. We're no longer that old man. So we now have to function and operate differently. So that means we have to take risk. We have to trust again. So I guess the question is can you trust another man with a knife with your most vulnerable parts? Can you trust another woman, with your most vulnerable secrets, those kind of things? Because you cannot find freedom in and of yourself. God sets you free. Yes, the cross of Christ sets you free 100%. But you have to have others. You have to have family. Everything that God did is about family. And if you don't have people that will hold you accountable, you don't have people that will look you in the eye and hold you, we say this all the time, accountability is not an account of your inability, and it's an account of your ability. So I'm not going to call you out, I'm going to call you up. And if you don't have people that will call you out and call you up, then you're going to struggle. You're not going to be super successful. You have to have someone that says, man, bro, that ain't the right way to talk, or man, sister, that's gossip. You shouldn't really, say those kind of things. So yes, you have to have God to be set free, as Miriam hit. You have to have God take those things from you and change you and have the power of the cross implemented in your life. But if you never get into a covenant relationship with others and give them the opportunity to call you up, to hold you accountable, to say, this is where I struggle mentally, this is what I struggle with, here or there, this is my weak spots, these are my blind sides, I need you to look out for me, then you probably haven't had long-lasting success. You've had cycles. You've had moments where you're self-disciplined and you do well, but then you fall off. Or you do something crazy, or you revert back to the way you used to be. So I just want to encourage you that you have to have other people. That's the way God made us. Even in the garden, he said it was not good for Adam to be alone. It wasn't good for Adam to walk every day in the garden with God. So he created a female. He wants us to be in a relationship. He wants us to have family. He wants us to be a part of a bigger picture. And so I guess tonight the challenge is this. Have you ever trusted someone? To go around the circle and ask them, have they ever trusted someone and been betrayed? And they're all going to say yes. But the second thing is this. Are you ready to trust again? Do you trust God? Is there someone in the church, or is there someone that believes in you enough that you would say, hey, I trust you with a knife and my most vulnerable secrets? Because as long as it's a secret, the enemy still has power. As long as it's in the closet, the enemy has power. I've determined that I'm not going to have any secrets. I'm going to make it powerless. If I'm not hiding anything, then I have nothing to be looking over my shoulder about. People that hide stuff, people that have secrets, they're always looking over their shoulder. They're always worried about getting caught. They're always worried about let's get it out there. I have no reason to hide anything. I take the power away from the devil. I take the power away from my own mind when I get it out there and I say, man, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. I need you to help me here. And so will you trust someone with a knife in your most vulnerable parts? Will you allow someone to cut away at the things that God's asking you to cut away? Again, accountability is an account of your ability, not your inability. So I'm calling you up to a higher place. We have to have other people. You cannot be a loner. You cannot do this by yourself. You're not that strong. No one is. So you got to reiterate that in this lesson. You got to talk about maybe your vulnerability, where you've had to get vulnerable, where you've been called out, but also where you've been called up, and the freedom that you received and having people in your life that loved you enough to tell you the truth. People that loved you enough to get in your mess with you and say, man, I will show you, follow me as I follow Christ. And I'll lead the way, but I'll be there for you. Those kind of things. So go around the circle. Reiterate that story in Joshua where they had to do it. They had to reestablish that covenant with God. And Joshua had to make a knife, and all those men had to stand there and go, I will be vulnerable and allow my leader, my friend, the person that we exited Egypt with, to see my most vulnerable places, the places that I've hid for years, to be able to go to the next place, to be able to go to the next level, because they couldn't go to the promised land until they did that. You can't go to the next level. You can't go to the next place in your freedom. You can't go sometimes to the next place in God, because He's waiting on you. He's waiting on you to be vulnerable, to be open, to be transparent. Anyway, I hope it's a good group. We'll be there. I think we'll be back. If we're back, love y'all. You guys are doing amazing. Love how you're loving people. Bye.